console version of Rust has a massive problem. No, I'm not talking about the bugs. I'm not talking about players leaving. I'm not even talking about community servers. I'm talking about something that each and every one of you can see just by going onto any server and looking at the map. Can you tell me what I'm talking about? I'm curious. If you guess monuments, you're right. So when you look at any map on any server, what you're going to notice is a lot of monuments are missing. This is especially obvious with the recent Fishing Village addition. If you go to most servers, you can't actually find the Fishing Village. Servers were actually restarted 2 hours into wipe, completely re-wiped because Fishing Village just wasn't on enough servers. And what this demonstrates is that we have a problem of maps not being big enough and not enough monuments making it onto the map. So let's go over what monuments have to make it onto a Rust map, because there's a lot of them actually. You need a bandit camp and you need outposts. Those are two monuments that I feel like every map needs. In addition to that, you need one green card monument, preferably more than one. You need one blue card monument, and you need a few red card monuments. In my opinion, you need at least one oil rig, and you need launch site. Launch site is a perfect monument for people who are solo or just can't really get out to the oil rig or take a counter at the oil rig or even take the scientist at the oil rig. Launch is a perfect way for them to get to that end game just a little bit slower. Oil rig you need because that takes the clans and a lot of other players that are really good off the map and puts them somewhere away from the general player base. In addition to that, to get to those red card monuments, you need at least one blue card monument. And while you don't need a green card monument, it is nice to have a few in there. You need some newbie monuments. So that's going to be like your gas station, your mining camp, your harbor. You need those. And then you need something that's a little bit more of an in-between, in my opinion. You need something like sewer, and you need something like water treatment or something in that line. In addition to that, if you're going to be doing anything with the water like the oil rig, I'd say you almost do need to have at least one fishing village on that map. The reasoning for this is because what happens is a lot of clans who just have way too much time on their hands decide that they're going to own oil rig by doing the one cowardly thing that you can do to own oil rig, and that is taking all of the boats and putting them inside of their base. It's a horrible experience for everyone. There's going to be some idiot who goes out to oil rig in scuba gear and pisses everybody off, and that's about how the wipe's going to go. It's just not a great experience for everyone because you're taking one monument off the map. Not to add to that the fact that clans do wall off monuments at times, which takes other monuments off the map. The thing that makes this all worse is that monuments have a distance around them that no player can build on. So what we're having is there's a very limited amount of space on maps because maps are smaller to prevent lag. And in addition to that, because they're getting more and more crowded with monuments, you've got more and more space that's unbuildable. So what you end up with is a lot of servers that just have these very small sections of land that players have to compete for. This sounds like an ideal thing, but it really isn't. So what happens is there's only a few flat areas where clans can build. You get a few clans that build up all next to each other. They fight it all out for maybe a couple days, and then someone's going to end up winning. Someone's going to end up winning. They're going to grief all the others, and then what happens is all those clans leave. This sounds great for the solo players, but unfortunately, once all the clans leave, the clan that's left moves on to every other base on the map. And because there's so many monuments, it's very hard to hide your base anywhere on the map. So you see where I'm going with this. Basically, the players are being condensed into this point where they're all running into each other's bases and just going nuts to butts all the time. And what you end up with is a scenario where bases just keep getting raided and eventually these servers die out because there's just too many monuments and there's not enough space to just hide your base and sort of play a low-key wipe. In addition to that, putting all the players so close together, while it does sound like an awesome idea, it leads to PvP there. When in reality, what you really do want in Rust is you want more PvP based around the monuments, especially in that first wipe. One of the things I really love about Rust is when you get into a monument and you can use your strategic positioning there just to get the better of someone. Some of those fights that take place in the middle of water treatment plant, I think that's one of the better ones. Or launch site, those can be some fights that you actually do remember. There's interesting things that happen to them. You can use your positioning to your advantage. It's a lot more than just hiding behind one large rock or a tree or someone's base or putting down a wall. There's more angles, there's more positioning. You got multiple levels that you're working with. You can go underground and use a sewer to get like the backside of someone. You can do all these different things to try and trick people into thinking there's more people than there are, less people than there are, or get behind them or get someone's flank. It's a really good experience in my opinion, and that is where PvP should be centered. So by wiping so infrequently, you're already pushing PvP away from those monuments because less people are running them. But by putting everybody in such a small area, you end up with the PvP hotspots being around base builds rather than monuments. And I think that is detrimental to Rust because, in my opinion, the best PvP or the best PvP that I've had always takes place around monuments. That's excluding the rare online raid, of course. But yeah, overall, I think that monuments are going to become a problem for the console version of Rust very fast because no matter how many monuments you add into the game, you're not getting more map space, at least not yet. I think that should be one of the things that developers really push for because when we can get bigger maps, when consoles can play on bigger maps without lagging, you're going to get a better experience for everyone. Fans are still going to be running across the map to raid each other and all sorts of randomness is going to be happening, but it is going to lead to a better experience that is fit for more play styles. And I think overall that's what Rust needs. Anyways, that's my take on one of the biggest problems that's facing Rust. If you agree or disagree, feel free to comment down below and also let me know how badly you want community servers. Until next time, peace.